Hey, my name is Emmanuel Faith and I schooled in OAU.
Hi, welcome to So You
Hello,
Schooled
good
in
evening.
OAU. It's lovely having you here. So, can you kindly introduce yourself and what you do?
Now, that's like one of the most difficult questions you could ever ask me. It's interesting because that's a
All
question
right.
I ask all the time. But yeah, hello, listeners. My name is Emmanuel Faith. What do I do? I make people happy and productive. That's what I tell people. But in balance, I'm an HR professional. I lead the people and culture of one of the remittance company out of Africa. That's what I do from my 9 to 5. Outside that, I'm an international sport journalist with focus on women football. I'm a YouTuber. What else? I'm a retired poet and many other things I
Oh,
don't know.
retired.
Yes, people are trying to bring me out of
I
retired.
okay.
Yeah.
I feel people are a lot of things. So yes, when I tell people to tell me what they do, it can be a lot. It can be.
Mhm.
But thank you so much. So you schooled in OAU. From what year to
Yes.
what year were you in OAU?
Is this where we sing Great Effect?
No, not yet, not yet. Wait.
That's a very tricky question to ask because ASU assaulted our calendar a lot. That
I
was
think
in
that's the testimony
OAU.
of everybody.
It's in a testimony. I think I was in OAU between I just can't 2014 and 2018. It's tricky because officially I graduated December 2017, but my projects didn't get finalized and approved and all those for March 2018. Yes, so let's just say 2014 to 2018.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I was still like you. You have testimony, definitely. I was there from like 2017 to 2023. Yep.
That's long.
So was economics your course option? Because I read up on you and I saw that you studied economics. So why economics? How come?
Oh, that's a good question to ask, and there's a very interesting story behind that, right? So I want
Okay.
to, where do I even I'm trying to say this story in the brief first. So I wanted to study accounting, right? UTME has always been a spurious organization, and now to study
Mm.
accounting, you have to write accounting in JAM, aka UTME. And the problem with
Yeah.
that is that you can either score very high or very low. So I thought writing accounting in my JAM might be a risk, so I opted for writing commerce. Now, commerce was a
Okay.
JAM requirement, but commerce was not OAU requirement, and I did not know that OAU does not accept
Oh.
commerce. So I'd written UTME twice, I passed twice. I didn't get admission. And of course, nobody was telling me because there was asymmetric information, right? So I think it was the third
Yeah.
time I came to OAU because some of my friends that wrote the first jam together had already become students. So I used to
Mm.
come to school. I was even taking lectures before I resumed. So
Wow.
we was in one of those period. I think I was in a Hawu or Fajui. People were like, oh, this is my friend. He's trying to write his post jam. Or no. He's trying to write his jam because I not even written jam that time. And they were like, oh, what's your
Okay.
combination? I'm like, oh, English, maths, commerce. Like, commerce? What are you looking to study as yeah, I got 404. And you know how, I think it was Fudge. It was not how, it was Fudge. Like, I
Okay.
got 404, Lele, but yeah. So they said, if I want to study, I should go and change it to economics. And I started my research and I realized that even writing economics might not make it to accounting, but
Oh.
writing economics, no, writing, okay, so it was mass English, economics, commerce. So economics was already in lockdown. It was either I wrote accounting or I wrote government. So I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to
Okay.
write government and I'm going to go and study economics instead of accounting. Because for
Wow.
accounting, you have to write accounting. And I've not read my accounting textbook in 2 years. But I remember the essential
Good.
government and I remember everything that they told us. So I just went to buy a new essential government,
Oh.
read it cover to cover 2 times. And then why did I choose economics? I also remember economics in school, right? Economics is demand and supply. That's why.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you and some
True.
other things like. But that's how I ended up, picking economics because. So if you say why did you study economics, it was because I had written a wrong combination of subject twice, and then that's a very important information because I don't know how much of information is available now. But I remember my own set. There were people who got admission into economics but couldn't study economics before of the combination they wrote exam. So they were
Yes,
actually,
yes.
yeah. Does that still happen? It happened in your set, right?
It still does. It still does. You literally get admitted into a course and you go for registration. Not even when you are doing the exam. It's registration time. Then they tell you can't register because you don't have a particular combination or something. And you're like, why did you tell me this from the beginning?
Like, it's very sad. I think that UTME and schools, like, there need to be, I don't know, the way, Nigeria, the way, I feel like the way universities abroad organize information session, I'm going to make
Yes.
that universities
Okay, please do.
organize information sessions.
I think they should. I think they don't do enough of it, or even do it
And
at
it's
all.
really sad. Like, it's really sad. Because I imagine how a lot of people, I remember someone that got admission into political science, and the guy had to go and study political science education. And that was just so sad, because imagine you want to study political science. I ended up in education just because of the wrong kind of stuff. I mean, so thankfully for me, I got to know about that before I resumed, because I can only imagine. But I also lost 2 years to that, right? Because I went to JAM, it was at the third attempt. Anyway,
before you
that's how I
found
got to
out. Wow. Okay. So from economics, now you're in HR. What? Accounting to economics. Then you said economics, no. HR is the way. So how far we have to change? Tell me what you know.
Okay, see. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if we'll get to like how was OA like for me and all that, but I like to say that so there's also a story about how I moved into HR. But before then,
All right.
I like to talk a bit about my time in OAU. It was good. It was exciting. I was in economics. I schooled with the most brilliant kind of people. So in my department, by 200 level, we already started hustling for internships. Now, it might not be a big deal to whoever is listening to this because tech has come to disrupt. But you should know that this is 2016. There was no tech, right? I mean, Tech was 1 year old, for context. Piggyvest has not been. Okay, Piggyvest was 0 years old.
And Money Points, the triplets, Money Points.
Yeah, the triplets, but just started. So there was no tech, meaning there was no remote work. There was no schooling and working, because it was people, maybe this is a sidebar, but people underestimate what tech disruption had done. Not just in terms of,
I think we do.
But in the sense of, even globally, people cannot do remote work, and that's what is welcome. Of course, COVID is also a big contribution to that. Do you get?
Yes.
But coming back home, I say that to say internship was a really big deal, like a very big deal. You have to also to get internship. We used to apply to KPMG, Accenture before becoming Veracity, PwC, all the biggest companies that had cyclical internships. So I'd gone for an internship with Meristem, right? It was an investment research internship. And by the time I came back, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do finance. So while everybody was hustling for Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, I was like, what am I going to do with my life, right? So in 400 level, I won a tax competition and I got an internship. So it was that internship that I met someone who sort of was the HR and admin. Okay, no, I skipped a part. So in 300 level, one of my favorite senior colleagues, her name is Funko, she was graduating too. She was one of the non-finance people I know, because if you're in economics, you're either like a finance person, you're an oil and gas person. So she was one of the people that I knew were not going to do finance, because she was already doing talent, acquisition, recruitment, yada. So I asked her that, hey, what's up? I see that you're not into this finance thing. What do you do? It was then that she told me about HR, asked me to go and research about it. That was 300 level. So 400 level, when I was graduating, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm back to tax again, because tax is finance. But when I was doing because I graduated, I got this internship, I was doing it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go HR a shot. And it's just going to be like one shot. And that was literally the one shot that got me into where I am today. Yeah, sort of, in a way. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how I found HR. I found HR while running away from finance.
From finance. Wow. All right. So, what you were speaking about just reminded me of something. The school calendars. You mentioning how technology has disrupted everything. Because I remember people getting internships in OAU. But it's like our school was still in session when other schools were not in session, and these companies are recruiting. So those people can't go for things like that. And we're trying to dream big. You're trying to apply to Bank of America, but the internship period is my exam period. Why is your calendar not okay? Why is your calendar upside down? So did you ever have an issue like that with all the internships you applied for?
Good
If you
question.
did,
So, I mean, I had like 2 internships that overlaid with semester. But lucky for me, they were always
okay.
like around the holiday. But I had classmates. I had a classmate that missed a whole half of the semester. Jumoke, she's in Italy
Wow.
now. Like half of the
Oh,
semester. She literally resumed when we were writing first semester test. And then first semester
wow.
test comes in around
Towards the
what's the word?
end.
Yeah, that's when she resumed. Because what consecutive internships? She entered with
Okay.
Citibank and then she entered with KPMG.
Oh,
Yeah.
so go for it. Oh, you can hold on. Is
Oh,
that the
no.
advice?
But that's not the advice. I mean, there are people that also declined. I declined. I declined there was an internship I declined. I can't remember. I think it was with student. Yeah, I declined student because it
Wow.
was during semester.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's an advice for students that, well, while you might try to break your dreams, think of Jumoke, who is now in Italy, and, continue,
Oh no,
continue fighting for your path.
So I think it's a concept of alternative for God. At every point in time, as a student, I mean, again, people don't have to, like I said, people don't have to make this really hard and fast choice anymore because there are options. If you say no to KPMG, you probably get a remote stuff with Picky First, or you get 1 month internship with CarryWise. Like there are now a lot more options. But it's also the concept of alternative for God, right? The way people
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying not to even use internship. Okay, so let me use something else. I've missed a 40 marks test to go for a 11 ambassadors conference.
What?
Yeah.
Are you a gambler? This is a risky. That's all.
Yeah, so I mean,
Wow.
maybe I should have added that when I was telling my HR story, right? Because I like to think that so like I was a campus man at Alsado. We worked with the employer branding team, which is under the HR team at Unilever. So we interacted with the HR team a lot. So they do this annual conference. I mean, I don't know if the ambassadors program still well. They do this annual conference. It's once in a year. And that once you're going to enjoy the life of your head. They're going to lodge you in the first. They said there's no 5-star hotel in there. So they're going to lodge you in the
40
1st
marks?
Yeah, they're going to lodge you in a
Oh,
1-star
God.
hotel in Lagos. They're going to feed you for 4 days. All the global people are going to come to talk to you. You do internal competitions. I think that particular year, I think the Ghanaians were joining us.
Oh.
I mean, till now, they're like, there's someone that is my friend that we've been friends since then. Right? So I was absolutely not going to meet. So the interesting thing about the test, let me tell you what happened. So I was supposed to do a test. I mean, now some lecturers I know, you're supposed to do a test the Friday before. Because, not to blame Unilever, one of the things they do is that they check in with everybody's schedule. And the reason is simple.
Oh.
The person that was managing ambassador program also graduated from a federal university. So he understood the nuances. So before they fix the time, they actually check in they ensure that the time they are fixing aligns with like more than 90% of us. Because we were like 2, I can't remember. So they are checked with us. We are saying, we don't have tests. That's how my own lecturer postponed the test by 1 week. Like, when all of you are great for tests and stuff, and they not come into the class, they not say, the test will happen next week. Sorry, I know this. That's how I miss a 40 marks test. Yeah, so I would advise everybody to. But I just want to explain the concept of alternative for God. Some people forgo a part of their semester to finish an internship, and you usually cannot blame them for it, whatever works. Right?
Exactly. All right. So when you were graduating from OAU now, you've spoken to Fontel, your dream was HR, but you've been out of OAU for a while now. Is this your journey since then? Is that how you planned it? I know that life has its curveballs, but is it like 90%? Oh, I'm on the right path. I'm on the path I planned for myself back when I was a recent graduate. Or have there been so many wide, serious turns that this looks nothing like where you were planning for?
So to answer that question, I mean, I can't give a blanket answer, right? I'd say some of the things I thought of had come true. In fact, I've come true as far back as 5-6 years ago. I remember that when I was on 200 level, there's one particular conference. I can't remember. It wasn't in Nessa where you come, to be honest. I think it was another kind of conference. It was not my department. Then there was one that was Nessa where you. And I remember that I was saying that, oh my God, that when I graduate, I want to be so popular. By the way, I didn't say I want to be so brilliant. I want to be so intelligent. I also
Wow.
said I want to be so popular that people will invite me to come back and speak at OAU, right? And
Wow. Okay.
if not, from when I graduated 2018 to like, I just said to like 2023, every year I speak at least 5 events in OAU. Emphasis on at
Wow.
least.
Wow.
There's been a
Wow.
period of 2 months that I traveled to AU 4 times, like
Ah.
every year. And the reason why I even said till 2023 is because 2024, I traveled just once. Last year, I didn't travel at
Oh.
all. And this year, like, I'm not going to travel because of everything that's happening with road trips. But for me, that's like one
Oh.
part. Another thing was, I remember that when I graduated with 2-2, by the way.
Okay.
I had issue with my supervising lecturer. That's my project supervisor. And I remember one of the things he said was, "Oh, what's that thing? People that finish with 2-1, they're not even getting a job. Not to talk of you that you're finishing with 2-2." And I told him that
Oh.
by God's grace, I remember I said in Levin's office that nobody that finished with 2-1 or first class will be better than me career wise. And like, so far so
Exactly.
good. I think that when you're mentioning the top HRs in Nigeria, there's no list you're writing that Emmanuel Faith will not be featured, right? So I'd say
Clock
from that,
it.
I'd say from that perspective, a part of my dream has been fulfilled. I mean, I think the flip side is
Okay.
also I know that I had a 10-year mark. I mean, maybe I'm still on that path. I don't know because it's not yet 10 years. It will be 10 years next year. I said that, by my
Okay.
10th year, I should have gotten like a second degree, and I've not done that. So, yeah, I
Oh.
think that's
Well,
like
there's still
one part
time.
that is probably missing.
If you
But
if
yeah.
you register like this month.
Yeah. I mean, I still have a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Wow. Life has its way of just giving us our paths, and you just have to be grateful for the dreams that come true and the dreams that get reshaped and the ways that they kind of reset who you are and make you into something more beautiful. Like I think it's kintsugi. That's Japanese
Yeah.
philosophy of mending broken things with gold. Because yes, so let's get to the other aspect of you. Not HR, not work, not OAU. K-dramas.
Okay.
Why K-dramas? Like, not telenovelas. Oh, you don't want soap operas. You don't want to hear Domingo. Why K-drama, man?
Also, interestingly, now that you even mention soap operas, like I've just realized that like I didn't watch a lot of soap opera and sitcoms growing up, right? Anyway, why K-drama? So there's really no why. It's just like when you're speaking with anime watchers and they say why anime, right? I mean, I started watching
No,
K-drama in
true.
2011 when City Hunter came out. City Hunter was my first K-drama. Then I
Really, mine
watched,
was personal taste. But yes, we,
interesting, yeah.
we go way back.
Yeah, so City Hunter, A Man Called God, the OG of the OGs. But, and I
Exactly.
think when I was in uni, I didn't watch a lot of movies in uni because, one, I didn't have a laptop in uni. Two, I was doing a lot
Oh,
of things. And so I could not combine all the
oh,
things I was doing with movie. I think I started watching movie again in 300 level second semester break. I had a roommate
oh,
then who used to travel for competitions. So there was a particular travel that he didn't take his laptop because his travel mate had a laptop. So he didn't want to risk just carrying
okay.
his phone, which was big and heavy.
Mhm.
And that was so like for my first 3 years in OAU, I did not watch a single. So
Wow.
yeah, so I started watching movie again 400 left, and I remembered I watched one K drama. I can't even remember the title, but I know that like I had that break. I got back to K drama in like 2020 during COVID. Yeah, during COVID. But I really got back to K drama again in 2021 after between that like 2018. And the reason was very simple. By 2021, I was already the lead people culture and business at KDramas. I was studying a lot about I was preparing for my professional exam then. What's the name? So GPHR, Global Professional and Human Resource. So I had a module that is just workplace culture, like an old module.
Okay.
It's a 400-page textbook just dedicated to workplace
Wow.
culture. And I can spend like the next 2 hours talking about workplace culture. There's a lot of things that
Mhm.
happen that are literally, I mean, we look at them as normal, but like they are things that are latent in traditions and how people interact that now translate to workplace culture. For instance, I assume that you're a reader from the way you speak and write. If you read
No.
John Maxwell, I
Yes.
said John Maxwell, no. If you read Malcolm Gladwell's Outlier, there is a chapter that is dedicated to one
Okay.
of the biggest plane crash. And the plane crash happened because of a disparity in understanding what was being communicated.
Mm.
That's why the plane crashed. There was a junior pilot and a senior pilot. The junior
Oh,
pilot
the
could not
Korean
speak.
one.
Yeah, the junior
Yes,
pilot could
the
not speak
culture.
directly. Yeah, with the senior pilot, and that's why the plane crashed, right? So I started watching, and that's why you notice that I watch a lot of office K-drama and a lot of
Office, yes.
yeah. So I watch a lot of office K-drama because I'm trying to understand what does workplace culture looks like over there. What's the
Oh,
degree? Yeah. So what's the degree of subservience? How covert is their culture? How overt is their culture? Occasionally, I also watch American series. I mean, I watch Billion season 1 and 2. I watch Dynasty season 1. I want to watch Industry because if you look at
wow.
Korea is really close to Nigeria in terms of culture and in
It
terms of
actually
workplace.
kind of is.
Yeah, you get compared to America. America is like power distant, like this.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They don't
Yes.
have that
So
respecting my boss, my
ex-
boss.
exactly. So that's why I learned. That's why I watch a lot of K dramas.
Mm. Okay. Wow. Ah. So you love HR so much, you brought it into even your entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Fascinating.
I don't know. I mean,
So
I've taught like standard classes. I've taught at workshops. I've taught like startup accelerators where I use K drama when I'm teaching.
oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice. That's so
Yeah.
nice. Okay. So you mentioned you are international women's. Is it football or sports general correspondent?
So the focus is football, but I start by introducing myself as an international sports journalist because I occasionally influence around basketball, tennis, but my focus is football, women football.
Wow. Why? So is it that you're a feminist, you're an he for she, and that's why you focus on women's, or you just think the women's teams are better than the men's team? Because I think they are. I think they are by far, and I think there should be equal pay.
I'm glad that you mentioned equal pay because I'm about to take you on a lecture. So yeah, I'm a feminist. I am a feminist, unashamedly. I'm also like a woman advocate. So yeah, he for she, and all those
Thank
hashtags.
you. Thank you.
But for me, I love that you mentioned equal pay, right? Now, equal pay has happened in some sports, right? It has happened in tennis. I mean, tennis
Yes,
is like
it
the
has.
biggest reference, right? Thanks to
Yes,
Billie
it
Jean
has.
King and Venus Williams and Serena Williams. But it has not happened in a lot of games too. I mean, WNBA, for example, just signed a contract this year that now makes women earn a lot more, like 5x of what they used to earn before. The women's sport is a complete cycle. There has to be more awareness. More awareness leads to more participation. More participation leads to more revenue, and more revenue then leads to more money. So people need to watch the game. People need to first know about the game, then watch the game, then make money.
Money
The
comes
organizers make
in.
money from the game, and then this money then go to the active participants. For example, the amount that was paid at the FIFA Women World Cup in 2023 was, I think, 4x the amount that was paid at the FIFA Women World Cup in 2019. Do you get?
Yeah.
And they have even forecasted that it will be more in 2027. Do you
Wow.
get? So, for
That's
context,
something to
in
look forward to.
2023, in 2023, $152 million was paid. In 2019, $50 million was paid. And in 2027, it could be as high as $300 million. So it's a sign that the game is growing. Yeah. When I started writing about women football in 2022, the most expensive woman footballer was, I think that was Penny Harder, who was $350,000. Today, we have a player who
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. We have a player who has signed a $2 million contract over 8 years. So, yeah, that's
which is good, but still compared to but so like you said, there's room for growth. There's room for growth. So thank you so much. It's been lovely having you so far. So I think before we go to my 2 final questions that I always ask, I'll ask one on your journey because I think when we were discussing earlier, I mentioned reading a Medium article about. I remember reading about you being in between jobs at a point, and I just wanted to ask you about what kept you grounded and what you would advise people who are in that space to think about, what you would encourage them to do, and how you would encourage them to move forward.
Okay, so if you're out of job, please let everybody around you know that you're out of job. I feel like that's very important. People are very shy and ashamed of saying they're unemployed. And again, it's back to the culture that we have in the country. Being employed is not a crime. That's I think that's like my first lesson from my, my own process. If I had spoken out a lot, then maybe I would have gotten a job. Yeah, so just either you were laid off, either something happened, your contract got terminated, your contract was not renewed, whatever it is, put it out there, write a LinkedIn post, set ring lights, do an Instagram post, make a tweet, let people know that you are looking for a job. When it comes to job search, a closed mouth is literally a closed door. I'm not even right. Yeah, so number two, I think that if you're in Nigeria, you're listening to this, you should know that sometimes you're not the problem, right? The economy is shrinking and is shrinking rapidly, no matter what, some political economists say. It means that opportunities are becoming more scarce, and yeah, people are traveling, but the people are also competing for very few opportunities. So sometimes, typically, maybe something that you apply for 6 jobs and get, you probably have to apply to 60 jobs and solid 60 jobs, right? And the question is also where are the 60 jobs that you will apply to? Sometimes you have to apply consistently over a long period. As at when this podcast is being recorded, I'm currently interviewing for like 2 super senior roles simultaneously, right? And it's interesting because yeah, like I remember I told my friend that I'm exhausted because like I'm at 4th rounds of 2 different companies. I was like, Emmanuel Faith, you said they do interview. I'm like, of course I did do interview. What do you? Is that 4th round? I said yes, 4th round. Why there's still a 5th round waiting? So it's really, really hard and very competitive out there, and you have to continue to apply yourself to opportunities. But like sometimes you're really not the problem. The country is just shitty and opportunities are just really scarce. So those are the 2 things. One, put your word out there, let everybody know you're looking for the kind of big job you're looking for, and be specific. Don't say any job. You're looking for this role in this company. For example, when I'm talking to my company, I'm looking for lead HR role, preferably remote. It's hybrid. This is what I'm looking for. This is the amount I'm looking to earn. These are the experiences I have. I'll prefer a tech company to a traditional company, right? So just putting it out there in black and white would like really be helpful. So yeah.
So,
Okay. Let me start my classmates. A lot of my classmates are doing exceptionally well. Shout out to my friend Miriam Adioti, who is one of the most amazing data analysts I know. Which other classmates do I want to give a shout out to? Shout out to Tejiri already. Shout out to Lisbeth. Shout out to Anna Awopotu. Anna Oyemade, when she was my classmate. She's not married. Shout out to Tegoro. Yep.
and then the final question, thank God, is would you let your child school in OAU when it's their turn to go to uni?
I don't think that they will be in Nigeria.
Ooh, okay.
So the answer is no. Yes, I don't think they will be in it, right? But if they're in Nigeria, I hope that the standard of like universities are getting better and all that. Like if they have to school like in a public university in Nigeria, definitely OAU, but I do not think that they will be in it. With the extent of the product.
All right. So if in Nigeria and if a public university, 2 ifs. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been lovely discussing with you and hearing some of your takes on this subject. It's been lovely having you here. And with this, we have come to the end of today's podcast session.